Saddam Hussein, a name that sparks strong reactions even today. Born in 1937 in a poor village near Tikrit, Iraq, Saddam grew up surrounded by hardship, political chaos, and a world where power changed hands quickly and violently. As a young man, he joined the Ba'ath Party, a group that promised Arab unity and socialist progress. For Saddam, this was more than politics. It was a ticket out of poverty and straight into the corridors of power. Even before he officially became Iraq's president in 1979, Saddam was already pulling the strings behind the scenes. He mastered the art of political survival, using a mix of charm, threats, and ruthless force. Once in charge, he wasted no time making it clear dissent would not be tolerated. Secret police and informants were everywhere. Critics disappeared. Entire families lived in fear of a midnight knock on the door. But Saddam also pursued rapid modernization. Roads, hospitals, and schools sprang up across Iraq. Oil money helped build new cities and brought electricity to rural villages. To some, these changes felt like progress, but this modernization came at a staggering human cost. Saddam's regime committed horrific acts, especially against those who challenged his rule. In 1988, his forces used chemical weapons against Kurdish civilians in Halabja, killing thousands and leaving a scar that still hasn't healed. Saddam's ambitions weren't limited to Iraq's borders. In 1980, he launched a brutal 8-year war against Iran. The conflict killed hundreds of thousands, drained Iraq's resources, and left both countries shattered. Just 2 years after that war ended, Saddam invaded Kuwait, setting off the Gulf War. This move brought international outrage, devastating airstrikes, and harsh sanctions that crushed Iraq's economy. Ordinary Iraqis paid the price, facing poverty, hunger, and isolation, while Saddam clung to power through propaganda and fear. Despite this suffering, Saddam managed to portray himself as a defender of the Arab world, someone who stood up to Western intervention. His image was everywhere, on murals, TV screens, and even in school textbooks. But behind the bravado was a regime built on repression and violence. Everything changed in 2003. A US-led coalition invaded Iraq, accusing Saddam of hiding weapons of mass destruction and supporting terrorism, claims still debated today. Saddam's rule collapsed almost overnight. After months in hiding, he was captured, put on trial by an Iraqi court, and sentenced to death for crimes against humanity. His execution in 2006 closed a chapter, but his legacy is still fiercely debated. Some view Saddam as a symbol of Iraqi sovereignty, a leader who stood tall against foreign powers. Others remember only his brutal repression, the wars, and the suffering he left behind. The truth is, Saddam Hussein was a deeply complex figure, ruthless, cunning, and driven. His rule transformed Iraq in ways both visible and invisible, and even now, the shadow of his leadership continues to shape the Middle East.